Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the week ahead. Now, keep in mind, my friends, these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So make sure to check out your other placements so that you can have a more complete picture. And if you would like a personal reading, you can find the link for that in the description below, or you can just send me an email. Okay, my friends, let's get started for Sagittarius. What is the current energy around the week ahead for Sagittarius? That card just flew out. Oh, and so did those. That one just flipped. Oh my goodness, Sagittarius, you got so much movement happening around you right now. Where'd that card go that flipped over? Hang on. There it is. Okay. Bottom of the deck is co-create. So you are working on manifesting something. You're working on actualizing something. You're co-creating something with your higher self. So you're moving towards something here that you're creating with your higher self. The first card that came out is this orphaned card. So there is some stuff going on here for sure. We got time to go and buy the book. So those first three cards, I'm just going to stick them here. This makes me feel like it's time to move away from anything that is lingering, that is sort of stealing your confidence, stealing your courage to make a bold move. I feel like you have a wounded sort of inner child that says, but if I do this, what if I lose love? What if I lose that feeling of belonging and connection? I don't want that. I want to feel like I belong. I want to feel like everyone else. And, you know, looking at these cards, that tells me that there is a community of like-minded people right here. So it's okay if you don't fit in with one crowd. That's okay. And maybe it feels like really, really. The word coming to mind is devastating, and that's kind of a strong word. So you might be feeling sort of devastated or rejected or just sad because you're like, man, I don't belong anywhere. Like you might be taking it to a sort of a bigger place than it needs to be. You just might not belong where you're at right now. That's okay. It's a huge world full of 8 billion people. So there is a community that you will feel like you're like, oh yeah, these people get me. I get these people. This is my new community. And this is a place where I can be myself and be accepted and understood. And I feel like you're longing for that. You're longing for that. And I feel like it might involve making a move. You might have to move physically for some of you, or you might have to move in the sense of metaphorically moving, in that you're just not staying in spaces that don't serve you. And it's interesting because you've got this time to go card. So it is time. It's time for you to start meeting new people, Sagittarius. It's time for you to connect with new people. And I think in some ways, this is happening because you and your higher self are making it happen. But in other ways, I think that there is something in the 3D world that is shifting you outside of your control. And seeing a change in the wind in reverse says that there could be unexpected changes in your direction coming up, and that it might take a beat for you to feel confident with that. Seeing poised in reverse says that you're like, oh boy, what? Like you're feeling a little bit, you're feeling a lack of confidence when it comes to being bold and being authentic and being confident in that authenticity. That might take a minute, take a beat, right? And that's okay. I think sometimes we need a beat when we're about to make a grand sort of shift. And it kind of feels grand as I focus on this card. It kind of feels to me like it's going to be a big move, a big departure from the current environment that you're in right now, and that's certainly being That's certainly being echoed by this by the book showing up in reverse. Because when the by the book card comes out in reverse, the guidance is that now is the time for real change in your consciousness, because there's something here that's challenging the structures of a limited, authentic situation. So you're being guided to rebel against something, and it's causing a revolution, an inner revolution, and an outer revolution, in the sense that you're no longer adhering to a structure that feels like it needs a complete overhaul. And that's where you're at. And you're getting all of these messages like it's time to go. And I know that it's triggering that wounded inner child that feels like, I don't belong anywhere. Where do I belong? I'm all by myself again. And 555 on the timer as I say that. This is card 11. This is card 12. You are moving on a direct process here. You are definitely making a move. Okay. For some of you, it's a physical move. You could actually be moving cities, provinces, states, countries, whatever. You could be actually moving. But for others of you, it's a dynamic that is shifting, and you're moving away from it. And you're seeking people that get you, like-minded folks. And I feel like you desire that. And everything is shifting to conspire to help you with that. You know, it reminds me of The Alchemist. If you haven't read The Alchemist, you may want to. It's a beautiful book. I will put the link to it in the description below for you. But essentially, in The Alchemist, we learn that the universe conspires to serve us all the time. Our highest good is always the being encouraged. We're always being encouraged to move towards our highest good. And that the universe conspires to assist us to get there. So you are being sort of guided and moved around and divinely redirected right now. So let it happen. Let it happen, and trust that it's all leading to this community where you will be with like-minded people, and you won't feel orphaned or rejected or like you're weird or you don't belong. And as I say that, look at that. We see the Two of Wands and the Two of Cups. Come on, right? You can't make this up. This is really about you aligning with your higher self and making choices and directional decisions about really being in alignment with your higher self and finding people that you get and that get you. And the universe is on board. The universe is on board with you doing this alignment, making this alignment. And it's almost like the universe is conspiring to assist you by shifting you and shifting the wind, right? A change in the wind to get you to that place, to line you up with like-minded people so that you can see that you're not, it sounds funny and it's not meant to be a judgment, but it's like I hear you calling yourself a weirdo. And it's like there's this feeling that you just feel like you don't fit in. And I think you're looking at it as a negative instead of an amazing positive. That sometimes not fitting into a limited structure, that's a positive. That's a positive thing, that you don't fit into this sort of cookie cutter system. You don't, Sagittarius. You're Sagittarius. You carry the energy of a star. We all do. But Sagittarius to me is a fire sign that's like the fire of a star burning light years away. Like it can sustain itself for a million years. You might be different, but you're wonderful. There's nothing wrong with your uniqueness, Sagittarius. I feel like that needs to be said. Your uniqueness makes you not one that can sit in a cookie cutter sort of situation comfortably, because you're like a star. You don't fit into every situation. You're very unique. So let that not be a negative thing. Everyone's uniqueness is beautiful, and so why should yours not be, right? Everyone's uniqueness is beautiful. There's the Four of Cups in reverse. Again, I feel like you feel down. You feel sad. You feel like I just want to fit in, or why didn't that situation work out for me? You are meant to rebel, my friend. You're meant to disturb the status quo, not fit into it. And being someone that's meant to not fit into the status quo, but maybe to change the status quo, makes you kind of a rebel, which is that Hierophant in reverse. But there's a part of you that's like, but what if I miss out on an opportunity because I don't feel like I fit into this situation anymore? I feel like that is this part of you that, again, is coming through in this card as well, that feels sad not to be like everyone else. But I think you're moving into a place where your uniqueness is going to be celebrated. And then you're going to have a change of heart about that. But for now, it's interesting. It feels to me like you're being guided to rebel against anything that feels... And when I say rebel, I just mean like you're not going to diminish your uniqueness to fit in. You're not going to do it. I think you want to in some ways, but you understand that you might need to separate from certain people, places, and things and it does hurt you. I know it hurts you. I can see it in this card. I can see it in this card, and I can see it in this card. But my friend, you are moving to a place where you're going to feel like you're around the right people. And there's nothing wrong with the people that you're separating from. You're just in different journeys, right? And like I said, there's 8 billion people on this planet. So you have a tribe here. In order to find them, I feel like you have to first acknowledge that your uniqueness makes you who you are. And there's nothing wrong with being unique. We're all unique. Even the people that you might think are like cookie cutters and they all fit together so easily and so smoothly, it's just because they carry a same vibration. And so on the surface, it looks like there's more of those people than there are of your people. But everyone has a tribe. Everyone does. I'm convinced of it. It's just sometimes finding them means rebelling against the status quo that's established in your narrative right now. And it's time to go. You're getting that message very clearly that it's time to leave that behind and seek out people and friends and communities where you do feel like you belong and fit in. And I'm seeing the Page of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, and the Ten of Wands. I think you're about ready to release any kind of people-pleasing or self-sacrifice. You want to move into a place where the balance is there between giving and receiving, so that you're not sacrificing yourself just to be in a relationship with others, that you're being authentic. And I feel like seeing that Page of Pentacles tells me that you're moving into this new beginning saying, this isn't me, this is who I am, and I trust that I can find balance in relationships where I don't have to match energy. I can just be myself. And that's a beautiful message right there. You don't have to match energy. You don't have to be someone you're not. You can be authentically you and find people that get you, love you, understand you, and want to create community with you. And I think it's just a matter of deciding to get into this canoe and saying, I'm going to go to new shorelines. And I'm going to leave this stuff in the past. This person is traveling without any baggage. They got into the canoe with what they had on and they said, I'm leaving. It's time. It's time to go, right? It's time to go. And they heard the call and they got in by themselves, right? To go here. Whatever this new coastline represents for you, I feel like there's a community of like-minded people awaiting you there. And that it's time to go. And that, yes, that means that separation could happen, right? That you're going to be separated from things now. But look, we see the Magician and we see the King of Cups, or the Knight of Cups. So I feel like you're about to really open yourself up and actualize a new timeline. You've been wanting, you've been praying, you've been manifesting and envisioning a time where you're just like in a community of people where you can just be yourself. That's all you want, I think. And I think that that's actually happening. You're actualizing that. But it's going to involve separating from where you're at now. So you have to be prepared for that journey. Let's clarify these cards for you, Sag. Let's see. Four of Cups. Yeah, Ace of Swords. So it's time to shift your perspective. Instead of feeling a fear of missing out, you're not missing out on anything. Yeah, you got to release that fear of missing out. You might be feeling cast out, but you're not missing out on anything. You might be feeling that way. You might be feeling like I feel like you almost feel like the grass is greener somewhere, but it's kind of like, I think you're going to realize very soon that that's not where you belong. And that's why you feel this way. But it's not a bad thing. It's moving you towards a place where you do feel like you can be this Knight of Wands, where you can be charismatic, confident, and ride your horse all over the place and feel very like you're living your best life, and you're chasing your dreams, and you're surrounded by people that understand you and don't give you that feeling like you have to match energy. You're setting the energy here, and very charismatically, and I feel like you're in your element when I see the Knight of Wands. You're discovering who you are, and you're digging it. And that's good. Like you're no longer feeling like you have to fit into a mold. You just threw the mold out, and you're like, mold schmold. I don't want to fit into a mold, and I'm not going to force myself to. I'm just going to move into spaces where I can be myself. And that might mean that you separate from some people that are around you right now. But I feel like we're seeing the High Priestess in reverse, that it's important to trust that inner knowing. Like, you're working with your higher self right now. And so let your higher self guide you. It's guiding you towards your highest good. And so go for it. Go with it. Fear not. There's the Knight of Cups coming through in reverse for you. So it's like you're moving into a space where you don't have to hold back your emotions either. I think for some of you, you've held back your fire and your emotions, right? You've held that back. And now you're moving into a space where if you trust your higher self, you won't have to hold your feelings back. I think you are right now. There's a part of you that may be resisting trusting that higher self. And as a result, you're holding in your feelings. You're holding them in, and you're not just being open with how you feel about things, because I think that's happening because it's showing you where you don't belong, right? And if you feel yourself closing up, then you know you're not in the right space for you. There's the Strength card showing you that you can overcome any obstacle that comes up. And on the bottom of the deck, we're seeing that Four of Cups again. I'm telling you, you gotta move away from this idea that you're missing out on something. You're not missing. I feel like whatever you think you're missing out on, you've already experienced it. You know what's over there. It's just maybe a little bit shiny and appealing to your ego to fit in, but you will fit in just with the folks that you do actually fit in with. And this could be a time of separation where you move away from people that don't get you so that you can find the people that you feel like you can be yourself around. And I think that happens from just observing different patterns. When you evolve, you sometimes evolve past a place where you resonate with the people that were in your life at the time of that evolution. And that might seem harsh and feel like something that has like a negative intention to it. But I mean, I think it can be sort of unrealistic to think that you'll always feel connected to the same people. You can always love the same people. It's not that the love goes away, but you just might need to find people that you can be the new you with, you know, because I really feel like you're changing in some way, Sagittarius. Let's see, to close this reading, what is the highest guidance here for Sagittarius? Blessings. Oh, I like that. Sagittarius, the blessings are coming and they're all around you already. And the fact that you're being guided to a new community is a blessing in and of itself. There are blessings here. So if you feel rejected, if you feel external from something that you wanted to belong to, and you have this kind of fear of missing out, surrender. Surrender that fear of missing out and trust that you're being guided to something that will match you, you know, where you can be your authentic self and feel limitless, right? And feel like you can just continue to expand and grow and thrive. This blessings card carries the message of immense blessings are emerging into your life, and it's all coming from your higher self and the divine. There is a guidance here to be open to that divine voice. Messages are all around you, guiding you right now, and you are protected, you are safe. Have faith that your path is guided. Watch for signs that Spirit is presenting to you, because they provide profound healing energy and it will flow to you in wondrous ways. You just need to be aware of it, mindful, watching for it, looking for it. This is really a time of refreshing, replenishing, and I'm going to add rebelling in a new state where you're shaking up the status quo in your life and saying, this doesn't serve me anymore. And it's time to move away from things that, even though they may seem like sort of the traditional path, you weren't meant to walk a traditional path, Sagittarius. You know, I really feel like this is a period of enlightenment for you, in the sense that you're really sort of realizing that there is sort of this confinement around you, right? And you're breaking free from that confinement because you're expanding into a greater awareness of yourself. And I think when you do that, you sort of reach this limit where you must either decide, are you going to take a journey that, yes, might be unconventional, and yes, might be sort of necessary to leave certain things in the past and leave them behind and get into the canoe and reach a new shoreline. But ultimately, if you have faith in yourself that you can overcome any obstacle, you will reach this moment here where you realize that the sky's the limit. You don't have to stay in any situation that feels limiting. This is expansive transformation in action, and you are leaving the status quo in the past. You are setting a new quo. You're creating a new status quo for yourself with a new community, and it starts with a lot of things that are just redirecting you. Look for the signs. Trust your higher self. Ask to see. Say, show me. Say, show me. Show me. You know, show me these messages that I need for guidance. And show me where I need to surrender. Show me where I need to take action. And you will receive that guidance. Wow, what an interesting reading. I'm going to leave it at that for you, Sagittarius. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I am sending you so much love and light, and I look forward to reading for you again soon. Take care, my friends.